Hi, welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids with me, Khat Hansen, your host. Hi everyone, it's me, Khat. Welcome to the lesson. I think today's lesson is going to be a little bit about dynamics, because a lot of people don't seem to understand how the conscious cryptids can live and function in our time. So I kind of want to address that. These guys, first off, don't really care whether they believe in our dimension or not. It's just the fact that they know that it exists and they are comfortable traveling between the two. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, I don't get that. Well, it's like this. If you believe something exists and have absolutely no doubt in your mind that it exists, then you can make a mental construct of what you believe. So they are literally coming here from their dimension, and as they cross, they are designing what they're crossing into. And yes, that means that they have higher use of brain power, but that does not mean that they are not smarter than us. Okay? Because we are smart. We are super smart to the point where our brains have been dumbed down by programming, genetics, metals, heavy metals in our air that we breathe, in our systems, in the food that we eat, water that we drink, etc., etc., etc. For goodness sakes, we eat genetically modified organisms, okay? That just sounds so disgusting to me. I don't know about anybody else, but it makes me have this feeling of when I bite into an apple, am I expecting it to scream? So no, I don't eat those. Not into those. So sorry if people are into them and I'm like ranting about them, but I don't eat them. I don't feed them to my animals. I don't feed them to my children. People that I work with at the shelter do not get them. I refuse to eat genetically modified organisms. Okay, and yes, it costs the same or a little bit more expensive. But you know what? If I'm going to deal with these things and have them putting things into my body, I sure as heck don't want them. So I always tell people that if you're going to leave food out for the conscious cryptids, make sure that it's something you would eat. Don't leave them bread crusts, Don't leave them cookies that you fell on the floor. I mean, seriously here, folks. Stuff like that is just offensive to them. They don't want to eat that. They don't want to look at that. They don't want to smell it. And then if you do leave this stuff out for them like that, then you have the audacity to say, well, they're not interacting with me. Well, no, they're not going to interact with you. Would you interact with somebody who came to your house, left you some bread crusts that he had eaten, or maybe cut off, and said, here, oh, by the way, have these are for dinner. That doesn't work. Okay, so these guys are very intelligent. That's the point that I'm making here, okay? Don't leave them garbage, because they don't want to eat garbage. So that is telling you something about them, that they're highly intelligent and that they have the ability to make the conscious choice to not eat these things. Okay, because think about this. If you left bread crusts out for a bear, if you thought, if you didn't know there was a cryptid in the area, but you just thought you were feeding a dumb animal and you left bread crusts out for it, chances are it would be gone. And that's because a bear is not as intelligent as a human being, and they have the ability to digest everything, so they're going to do it. Now, the other point that I want to make here to people is that woods, territory, and interdimensionality kind of all merge together here. For instance, this is just an example. When the Neshovachito, the big hairy werewolfy guys, come through the portals, these guys have already decided what area they're going to be in, and they've decided that they're not going to tolerate anyone else in their area. So, there again, that being said, they are sending out a vibe, and they are sending out their little brain waves, and they're literally telling anything within that range, hey, I don't want you in my area. I'm here this time around. Get out. Now, people have asked me about the Steyama with them, and are they friends, and are they going to get along, and everything else. No, they do not get along. I have said many times that the dogmen get along with the Steyama when they are young, up until about age 8 or 9. After that, no, they're not going to be able to interact or play with the Steyama babies. It's just not going to happen because they are too volatile, they are too dangerous, short-tempered. The older these guys get, the more conniving and short-tempered they become. I mean, it's like a fuse in a powder keg. All you have to do is light it. Say the wrong thing, give the wrong look, put your food down in the wrong place. So these guys don't get to hang out like everybody imagines. Okay, they just don't. They wander, they travel, they do whatever they want to do because they've been called through the portal. Okay, and be it Gaia calling them, urges for mating rituals, finding a mate, you know, things like that will bring them here. Okay, if they are on a personal mission, it's going to allow them to come through. Steyama do not want to interact with them because they know that they can kill them. So they leave. Okay, I know that puts a big dent in everybody's little wagon that was writing to me and telling me, oh, but they could have food together. They, you know, they could live in harmony. You know, that's just nature and that's the way it works. They're not going to do it. So I kind of want that settled. You know, I want people to understand what I'm telling you right now, that the dynamics between the two of these guys is a definite explosive powder keg. They're not going to be together. So, that being said, the Ophi already live here. They live here 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They're not going anywhere. Do they interact with the Steyama? No. Do they tolerate each other? Yes. There's no point for them to act together. Okay? You know, these things come through, and like I said, things that come through the portals have to already have their mindset whether or not they're going to hurt, harm, you know, or cause mayhem before they ever get here. You know, and if you're going to be in the vicinity of these guys, you need to decide what level of protection that you need. Because a lot of people just go through the forest, you know, skipping through thinking, la la la, I'm fine, you know. I've got a gun. Some say I've got a gun. Then there are the ones who don't want to carry a gun. Okay, either way, you're right. I don't care. The choice is up to you. Just know that you're really going to tick off a conscious cryptid by shooting it. Okay, and by this, I'm gonna say here a little demonstration. Okay, this is a what if scenario. What if you see the little 4-foot tall Ophi watching you? Okay, he's got a bow and arrow. Well, you've got a gun. So you decide, hey, you know what? I need that thing for a trophy. I'm going to shoot it. Okay, so you shoot it. He's not too big. He's here permanent, so he's got the body build from the gravity, muscle mass from the gravity here. So he's pretty okay. You can shoot him. So you go over to retrieve the body. You're thinking you're pretty smart. You got him. Within minutes, and I mean minutes, you are going to be surrounded by an entire group of Ophi. And these Ophi carry knives and bows and spears and arrows. And guess what? You're now the one being hunted. You're not going to take that body out. They're not going to let you. Not because it's an animal, but because it has to have funerary rites, just like you. So, there again, you need to think about that. Okay? Are you going to shoot a stayama that lives here? You know, you're talking about something that's developed senses and opinions about human beings. You know, these guys have huge muscle mass, added to the fact that they're highly intelligent. Okay, just as intelligent as you are, or more. So, do you really think you're going to get out of the forest with a body? I don't think so. They're going to kill you before you ever leave. And yes, they will kill you over something like that. Okay, then you have, you know, the Neshovachito. These guys, I'm tired of people not understanding that these guys are dangerous. You don't need to go out and confront them, because it's important to understand that the more you tempt these guys, the angrier they get, and yes, they will kill you. And there's not a lot you can do about it. People have been asking me, well, can't I say the Lord's Prayer and make them go away? No. Once they have solidified, remember, these are the guys I told you that are allowed here. They can do whatever they want to do. So you need to accept the fact that these guys are dangerous. So now you're hunting something and maybe shooting something that is so dangerous, it's like 10 times worse than shooting a rabid grizzly bear. Okay? Seriously, it's that bad. I want people to think about this. Okay, now the other cryptids that are out there, you know, the little ones like the little frogmen and the kappas and things like that, you guys need to know that you always have to make a conscious choice with these guys, because if you hurt them, they have the potential to come back and hurt you. You see where I'm going with this? Everything has a cause and effect. And I just want everyone to understand the cause and effect here. You hurt them, they hurt you. Maybe kill you. You hurt them, maybe they kill you and your hunting partner. You know, or the group that you're with. You know, because some of them have anger issues, just like humans. And that being said, I think that's going to be the end of this lesson. Just remember, if it ticks you off, it can most definitely tick them off.